Let's go, let's go, let's go. Welcome to the Man Lucrative Podcast. I am the host, the one, the only Magneto 7 in the building. I'm him. I am him. I am him. I am the I'm him. But listen, welcome to another episode. This is episode 80 and I ain't gave up yet. Who would have thought for free? But I want to shout out to everybody that's on TikTok. Shout out to everybody that's on Facebook. Thank you for rocking with me tonight. We about to have some fun. But again, this is episode 80. Listen, I told y'all a little bit before I started, like how it goes with the podcast world, right? A lot of the times people see the jewels and they like jewels. I don't have a lot of stuff on tonight for real. But a lot of people see stuff that we do. They see stuff that we talk about, and they see certain clips, and they think that everybody that's in the podcast game is balling. Like if you got this nice studio, you got this nice live sign sponsored by my auntie. Shouts out to V. You are great. You're the best aunt ever. Best aunt ever. But they see a lot of the stuff that we do, and they imagine or they assume that we paid for a lot of this stuff from the podcast. No, this is false. I work on music. I am a extensive builder, contractor guy, and I do a lot of stuff. So, yeah, except sell drugs. I don't sell drugs. I got to put that disclaimer out there first. I do not sell drugs. I'm not in scamming season. I'm not in any illegal activities. I'll put it that way. But again, welcome. And while we're in the beginning, please like, share, subscribe. Go ahead and turn what do people say? Turn the YouTube bell on so you can know when you're notified when I post something. All that jazz. But welcome. And let's start. I just want to go ahead and start. This is an episode that's sponsored to you. I'm bringing this episode to you from Mr. Jason Walker, Divine Carpentry Sticks. Yo, he got some dope sticks. I'm going to put the link in the bio so y'all can go ahead and cop those. All of my drummers that listen to the podcast, please go ahead and support this man. He is anti-alumni, as I am, HBCU, hello. And I like to support all small businesses that's just doing dope stuff. If you're doing dope stuff and you're trying to make change, you're trying to just bring a different type of product to the business, I'm all for it. Everybody heard my rant last week. I don't think we have to go there again this week. TikTok, if you did not hear my rant, just please go listen to the snippets. I got little clips floating around everywhere, so you'll hear. But last week's episode, I was really talking about musicians being innovative and just doing something that's forward moving. Like don't just play records. Don't just go play at somebody's church. Don't just produce and rap and sing and all the hoopla that we do. Actually come up with the product that people need. You need toilet paper. How about we find a toilet paper distribution person? Like that's what all last week's conversation was. But this week, let me go ahead and start by just giving y'all a summary of what's happened so far this week. Because the weekend is kind of far gone and we're approaching a new week. We talked about the Met Gala on the Congratulations You Lost It podcast. And shouts out to me and my wife. We did our first pod last night. We did. And it was fun. I think she was just like, all right, I'm tired. Like I told her, I say, yo, when you do pods, you got to keep that joint going. Don't nobody want to come just look at you talk chill. Like, no. Sometimes, I take chill sometimes. But for the people that I listen to, I got to have the energy. Like, it's like an ADHD podcast. I got to feel it every time. But anyway, what up? So, what happened to me? I thought I was gonna die this morning, y'all. All right, I'm gonna just go ahead and put it out there. I ain't gonna lie. Like I try to be chill. I'm chill about everything that happens to me. I'm like the last time I think some of my people on Facebook, y'all saw when I cut like half of my finger off, and I play piano. So I was working on some. See, again, this goes back before I before I start this story. This goes back to a conversation I had a long time ago. I was in the middle of trying to get a. It was a guy that was we were remodeling his restaurant, right? And me, as I was in the beginning, I was trying to keep all of the bread. I keep as much of the bread as possible. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go out in there and I'm gonna move that stove. How hard is it to move a stove, right? How hard is it to move a stove? I found out. I found out real quick. So went to the restaurant, tried to help him move the stove. I said, I could do it. Pick the steel up. I picked one side of the stove up, and I was like, oh, that's a little bit heavy. This is an industrial stove. This is not no regular kitchen stove. So I was like, all right, it's a little bit heavy, but I'm a big guy. So I started picking the oven up, picked it up, and we got it up to, it was like a little ramp that was going up the U-Haul. So I was like, I said, yo, let me just drop it for a quick second. Let me catch it. Let me get another grip. Yo, he must not have heard when I said that. That that damn oven dropped on my finger. I said, God, yo, I normally hold all of my cussing in. What's up from Louisiana? But I normally hold all my cussing in. But this day I did not. I could not. I could not say Jesus. All I said was, damn. I said, you got me. You got me. So he like, what? I said, you got me. So I jerked. Word to the wise, if you're moving something with somebody and something lands on your finger, do not jerk. Just let it lay there and let somebody else come back and pick it up, and you move your hand lightly. So I jerked my hand, and when I jerked my hand, you can see the damn bone in my finger. So I was like, God! I said, Lord Jesus, I'm about to die. So he's like, and this is a Jamaican man. It was a Jamaican restaurant that he was starting. So this is a Jamaican guy, so they're kind of different. So he says, hey man, you look like you might need to wrap that up. So I was like, I'm not cussing. But I said the S word, and you gotta be effing, S-ing, kidding me, and all the abbreviations. So I tried to just wrap the finger up, as a Jamaican told me. I got Jamaican friends, so it's okay. If you start a podcast, just make friends with the people that you're about to talk about. But I got a Jamaican friend. So I was like, yo, I said, yeah, I'm going to just wrap it up. I listened to him. I wrapped it up. And I think we had a dinner at my house the next day. And one of my wife's friends is a nurse. So she was like, what's wrong with your finger, Mike? So I was like, man. He said, what's wrong with your finger, Mike? I said, man, I got a little cut. Ain't nothing crazy. I'm I can tolerate a lot of pain. So she said, let me see it. So I let her see it. She said, Mike, you need to go to the hospital. I said, for real? She's like, Mike, that finger will fall off. You need to get that joint checked ASAP. So like, okay. So then I still tried to rationalize black men. If you're a black man or you're a white man or whatever, we don't like the doctor. So I tried to rationalize. I'm like, okay, in the event that I don't go to the doctor, what happens? So she was like, okay, you like to play piano, right? I was like, yeah. She was like, okay, if you don't go to the doctor, you will get gangrene, and that finger would have to be amputated. So I was like, okay, doctor it is. Went to the doctor, and this ain't even my pod for the day, I promise, but I got to give y'all the backstory. So went to the doctor. They put the little black stuff on my finger, and they burnt it. And it kind of, it's like it creates a scab. I don't know what the name of the stuff is, but they burnt it, created a scab. And I went home and I had to wait for the scab to fall off. But till this day, I don't know if y'all can see it on YouTube. Y'all can't, I don't know if y'all can see it. But to this day, I don't have no feeling in that, on the very tip of that finger. I have no feeling. Like, I don't feel nothing. So I definitely hit a nerve. And won't do that again. So again, let's sum it up. If you are helping somebody move a big ass oven, do not jerk. If your hand gets stuck, do not jerk back, because your finger will be chopped off. I guarantee it. And you probably will get infected because you got grease traps and all that. Anyway, so that brings me to today. So I'm on the way, and I'm on the way to my job, and I have a 9 to 5. I got a lot of jobs. I am an African, low key, but I got a 9 to 5. I'm a building contractor, podcast, I also coach people, like business coaching. I also produce music still for commercials and movies and stuff like that. So I do a whole lot in one day. So I was kind of delirious because I did do a podcast last night, and so I said, you know what? I don't know who all waits for the next day to go get gas on your way to work. Don't do it. Don't. If you wait for the next day to get gas, you're gonna miss something. You're gonna be looking whatever. So I said, you know what? Let me go ahead and get some gas right quick. I went on ahead to the gas station, and I saw a glimpse of it. I can't lie, I did see a glimpse of it. But I don't know if y'all seen the videos where the girls have been getting jacked. Like, have y'all seen it on TikTok? Have y'all seen it? Where the girls get like they put tissue paper in the car handle, and if you touch the tissue paper, something happens. Like people, it's like a numbing agent or something that's on the tissue paper that if you have somebody that's trying to follow you to your house and all this stuff, they follow you there, you get numb in the body and all that stuff, and then you end up falling out. Like this is a real thing, like for real, for real. So it didn't even dawn on me. It all man brain. So this morning I went to reach for the handle at the gas pump, and it was some tissue paper, and I think I probably was just like, go ahead and do the paper on the ground, and I started to pump my gas, and I was just like, oh no. I said, did I just do that? Did I just do that? So then I look, it's kind of like a movie, then you play everything in slow motion. So I look back and I'm looking at all the other pumps, and I don't see toilet paper or this tissue paper on none of the other pumps. So I'm like, yo. So then I started looking in the parking lot, because I was like, okay, if I just touch this paper that has a numbing agent on it that might get my fingers messed up or whatever, I was like, it might be somebody that's looking at me trying to see where I'm about to go next. So I'm looking in the parking lot. I see a lot of random cars, but it's early in the morning, so it's kind of dark. I don't see nothing. So I'm looking around. So I said, you know what? Don't touch nothing, Mike. F that. Don't touch nothing. What you gonna do is you gonna run in that building, you're gonna get some soap, you're gonna scrub, and then you're gonna be good because you're gonna wash off whatever was on your hands. So I did that. And keep in mind, this is QT. Y'all know QT. Whoever is at QT corporate, please go fix the water pressure. Y'all got terrible water pressure. But I go into QT, I go ahead and wash my hands. I come out, I say, all right, I'm good. I feel good. I didn't feel good, though. I was trying to psych myself out. I was like, I feel good. I don't feel nothing. No numbing agents. So then I tried to think about hanging the pump back up. And I said, God dang. The pump is still on my truck. It probably still got the stuff on the pump. So I said, look, I got to touch the pump again. Touch the pump. Hung the pump back up. Went back in the store. Washed my hands again. And drove off. I didn't touch my door handles or nothing. So I'm getting back to the office, and once I get to the office, I'm like, yo, my fingers are starting to be tingly. Like it's starting to feel numb. So I was like, oh my God, I'm about to die. I don't want to die today. Lord Jesus, not today. I don't want to do this today. Not today, Lord. Take me another day. So it's a lot. It's a whole lot. So I'm going in my office, and I'm like, okay. First off, do I get work orders? Do I tell my supervisor, look, I need to go ahead to like the hospital or something because I might die. Like if I die on the clock, it's your fault. Like what you want to say about that? So he's like, you'd be all right. So I said, okay, all right, I feel like I'll be all right. I got one work order. I'm gonna do this work order, then I'm gonna go to the doctor. So I still feel this tingling sensation in my fingers. So I'm just thinking about all the stuff that I saw on YouTube, on Instagram. And they were like, yeah, when I got to the house, I fell out and this guy just came behind me. And I was like, I don't want no guy to come behind me or girl and catch me off guard. So I go through the day. The numbing feeling started, the little tingling feeling started to go away. So I still went and got checked. And the lady that checked me was like, look, you better be glad you got tough hands, because if your hands wasn't tough, that stuff probably would have went straight through your skin and you've been laid out somewhere. I'm in the South. I'm in Atlanta. It's like you've been laid out somewhere. So I was like, thank you, big Jesus. Not baby Jesus, but thank you, big Jesus. But that brings me to my first topic. My first topic of the night is these scams. Cause that's a scam. Like whoever did that, like y'all need to. I'm not gonna say those words because we got some censorship going on. But y'all need a AW. I'll let y'all figure out what the AW is. But I looked at it was a meme or it was a video. I might try to put it on the bottom of the screen. But somebody has started to learn how to. Yo, I gotta delete this out. Yo, hey. But scammers, have figured out how to use AI. And y'all know I got AI news every week. Yo, I'm going to keep having AI news until there's no more AI news. And I don't think it's going to be no AI news for a long time. But somebody chose to use AI for evil, as I thought. I knew they would. Y'all have seen me talk about this for weeks on weeks on weeks. So what they've done, they're not doing a little funny, I'm gonna have Beyonce sing all these lyrics to my song, and not that. These fools then went in and had they done looked at somebody's videos, and listen, the gig is up. Everybody's information is out there in the street. Everybody's online saying something, even if you ain't say but a sentence. Your voice is online already. So it is what it is. We already here. But somebody that's a scammer went in and said, you know what I'm going to do, I'm going to use this AI to use their voice, and I'm going to try to get some ransom money for their child. And I'm going to use AI to master their child's voice and call the mom with the child's voice. And I'm talking to this woman like, I need my money, this, and that. That's where we at with it. And I'm gonna try to find all of the shorts. But yo, it was like 4 different people that's gotten scammed because they thought somebody was trying to rob or kidnap their kid, and they use AI to do it. So I got questions. These are just questions I'm posing. Are you talking about the AI video about the president? Not that one. I know what you're talking about. He said, am I talking about the one about the president? Not that one, but it's another one. So I imagine this. If everything is already moving to a cashless society, right? That's what they're going to push us into it. I'm going to just say they. Leave it there. Because I don't need nobody showing up at my door. I've been saying this for weeks. I don't need nobody showing up at my door. But if they are already prompting us to go to a cashless society, and it's going to say, we're processing your payments faster, and anytime you get paid from your paycheck, it's going to be faster. That's the sell, but it's all a point of control. So let's say that everything, including surveillance, because y'all saw the robot dogs in New York. Have you seen the robot dogs? So let's say that everything is on the up and up, and you get profiled because the AI version of you showed up on a robbery. Let's just use that. The AI version of you showed up on a robbery on the video. You don't think people can manipulate all of the extra stuff around it and set you up? Yo. But I think right now I don't know what we can do as far as combating the development of AI. I think we do have to learn how to work with it, but I think there has to be some type of regulations put in place. Cause it's not just a US issue. This would be China, this would be Germany, this would be Mexico, anywhere where people can use AI, there will be the option for somebody to manipulate it to do what they want it to do. So I'm gonna just say this. Keep your head on the pavement. Listen. Make sure y'all pay attention to what's going on. Just like what's going on now. Like, so I don't know how many people seen what's going on in Atlanta. It's a guy. We had an active shooter at Midtown. I don't know where we are with that. I might try to pull it up and tell y'all about it live. But yeah, it's an active shooter in Atlanta today. And my question is always this. Why? Why? Because I don't think random at random. I'll say that. I'll say it like this. I don't think at random people just choose to do things like that. I think a lot of the times people are prompted into doing certain things, whether that's with subliminal messaging as far as marketing goes, whether that's with setting somebody up to be in a relationship with somebody and it triggers them because studies show back in elementary school that this kid will be like this. So if we put them in this circumstance, they'll probably do this in the next 20 years. I think that's how I think, right? So I saw that it was an active shooter in Atlanta today. And I said, why? Of course, the outrage is the first thing that comes to mind. Like you want to care about everybody that's been shot, and you want to care about all of the things that's connected to what this guy is doing. But I also wonder, okay, is there something else that's going on, and they're using this as a decoy? I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist. I'm just saying. That's how I think all the time. Just like when we had they said it was a bum. It was like a bum in Atlanta like a few years ago that burnt down the bridge that's going on 85. And like that whole section had to be taken out and they fixed it and all that stuff. Why? What else happened in that time period? And I just be thinking like, okay, was this a decoy for some Trump stuff? Was this a decoy for some politics? Some financial currency type stuff? What is it? And if it is, then I want to stay away from it. I'm not going to dig. This is not the podcast to dig because I don't have enough security to be like digging in on it. But that's what makes me wonder. And then let's see. Suspect. Shooter arrested in Cobb County. Okay, so they did catch him. All right, so the active shooter that we had, they did catch him in Cobb County. Why? Why was there not I guess, and for any police officers that might be watching the podcast, give me y'all input because I really don't know how it works. But if there is an active shooter that shot somebody and did some less than nice things, what can y'all do about it? What up, Kendall? What up, Cody? What can y'all do about it? Because if it's not something that y'all could do, then I think there should be. That's what you use AI for. You put AI in place for that type of stuff. Because I refuse to risk a life for this random that's doing what he's doing. I don't like it. And speaking of random, I got to switch up the pace a little bit. I love my clap button. My clap button just comes in handy like whenever I need it. So I noticed it was a girl named Simone Biles. All my ladies that's either on TikTok or Facebook or Instagram, all of y'all that's tuning in right now, even YouTube, why did y'all get on this girl with these edges? I don't understand it. Cause from a man's perspective, let's do that. Cause I can't touch on a female's perspective because I don't know. But from a man's perspective, when we saw that girl, Simone, shouts out to you. Congratulations on your wedding. But when we saw that girl with the edges, it was like, yo, she's pretty. Like, what up, Sean? She's pretty. I was like, what's the issue? Like, y'all wilding. And I saw all of these hateful messages. They talking about, oh, she should have never walked down the aisle like this. Why is she looking like that? And this and that. Where'd she get that dress from? And like, yo, that girl happy. She probably frugal. She probably got a bag, like a real bag, like a bag. And y'all are defecating on her. I don't like it. I wish that we weren't in a time where a lot of misogyny didn't exist as it relates to female. I think a lot of dudes, when the dudes see, okay, case in point, this is the best example. This is a good example. If a dude that's in corporate America, on average, if a dude in corporate America sees another guy that's in maintenance worker clothing, they automatically say, oh, that's a hard worker. He out here getting it. I couldn't do it, but it's cool. Like, congratulations. Like, yo, thank you for your service, all this stuff. we immediately go back and forth with, yo, okay, so you doing that? How you getting corporate? And it's kind of like a, it's kind of like a, what's the best way I can say it? It's kind of like a, I real recognize real. Like you getting it out the mud right now, but you keep working and you get into corporate, you gonna get some real money because you're a hard worker already. Sean, like right. So even in this, let's put it on the illegal side of things. If a guy in corporate America sees another guy that's in the street and they have the same thing, let's say both of them have 25 Series BMWs. Both of them got the same thing, got the same watches, dressing the same type of clothing. We're not gonna automatically think, oh yeah, you know, you out here selling. You're gonna just think, yo, he done leveled up, he doing good in life. Done. We're not going back and forth with, well, how you get that? Why you look like that? What's your this? You did that and that. Like, no, we don't care. So, women, all the women, I want y'all to chime in because this is for you. I want to know from y'all's point of view, why did y'all have to get on that woman's edges like that? And I hate to serious it out. I'm making it mad serious. I wanted it to be playful, but it's not. But like, why y'all gotta get on the girl edges? That ain't nice. Not nice. What up, Kev? It's not nice. Cause I'm looking like, okay, the next post I saw with her, she was crying, bawling, like, oh my God, why y'all getting on me like this? And I feel bad and this, and that. But you look at her and her husband, Buddy is happy. If she had an afro, I'm sure he'll be just as happy. Like, it don't matter to him. As it normally don't for us. Now, let me put a disclaimer out there. I gotta put a disclaimer out there. A lot of us fellas, I mean, we're cool with a woman that's figuring it out. We're cool with it. What up, Joey? We're cool with a woman figuring it out. We love that, right? But if it's like an unkept type of energy with smells, and if if your hair was supposed to be combed, or if it's supposed to be an afro and it's just flat on one side and it's just froed out on the other side, we gonna be looking like, ugh. You got a pretty face, like you dope. You got a pretty face, but I don't know what to do with this. That's how we think about it. But if it's a woman that has all the eyelashes and got the BBLs, and we see that, we're like, yeah, I'm good. A lot of if women, I promise you, a lot of us fellas, when we see that, that's not the vibe. We don't look at that as like a uh something to get, because in a man's brain, when we see a woman that got the BBLs and lip injections and the boobs, which if that's what you need to make you feel good about yourself and that helps boost your self esteem, cool. That's a whole different conversation. But if you're doing it to try to get attention from us, we don't care. A lot of dudes, uh, I promise you, I got 6-figure friends, 7-figure friends. When they see a woman, they be like, "Oh yeah, she ain't got no boobs, but she got a butt. I dig it. I dig it. That's bae right there. I'm gonna wife her up." It be some of the most regular looking women, and we just imagine like you can see building a life with this person. So I say that to say this: get off of that girl's edges. It was a little bit funny, but it's not. Get off that girl's edges, cause like, yo, it's just that was foul. I wasn't feeling that at all. Um, and now to some money business. Matter of fact, let me go back to that. Do we think that bullying is cool? Like, and I'm asking that from a woman's standpoint. And this whole section, I want y'all to like just talk to me. Like, do y'all think it's cool to dog out another female because you think that she looked super unkept for her wedding? Listen, the girl got married. If you ask me, that's a win. It's a win. Like, celebrate that girl and leave the rest alone. Billy Blanks had a saying back in the day. Again, I'm dating myself. Billy Blanks had a saying back in the day. He said, "Do your best and forget the rest." That's what that girl did. So let her be. Please let her be. All right. On to some business. On to some business. So I came across a post on YouTube. No, on Instagram. I hate that all my sites are coming from Instagram and YouTube too. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But I came across a post from Biggs, and this was I wanted to introduce the next portion of the pod with this quote that he said. He says, "The work that we do on ourselves becomes the gift to everyone else. The work that we do to ourselves becomes the gift for somebody else." That's the biggest bar that I heard today, because I've been in this whole self development and self help and all that stuff, and writing books and all that kind of stuff now. And I just look at it, it's kind of in the same vein as the Simone girl, but why are we doing things that may look like we're benefiting ourselves, but in actuality we're not? I think we're in the space now, or we're approaching the space where anything that we do has to be purposeful. We got AI on our tail. I'm gonna keep saying it. I'm gonna keep saying it. We got AI on that tail. So everything that we do at this point has to be purposeful. I don't think that we have enough time to uh, just float, right? I don't think we have enough time to just float through life or through time and think that certain things will start happening for us. It won't. I promise you. I was the manifester. I was a great manifester. I talk about the manifestors every pod. I'm sure somebody's gonna come on and be like, "I believe in manifestation and this." I'm like, okay, cool. Tell me how you did that. Cause for every time that somebody says they manifested something, I guarantee you that there's a level of work that's been put in place that helped the manifestation come into to fruition. Every time. I don't think we have any examples of somebody that said they manifested something and it just fell in their lap. They just it's especially for musicians, especially for actors and business people, nothing fell in the lap. I guarantee you, if you go 5 years before, you go 10 years before, some type of work was put into place in a play, and things just started happening. Then things just started happening. Just like when I was in the music side heavy, and I think all of my music business people would tell me, well, you're only as good as your last hit. That's one. And your career only starts when you got the big placement. When you get the first big placement, that's when your career starts. So everything before that, I don't care if it's 5, 10 years, 20 years, everything before that don't count, because don't nobody know about that. But everybody knows after you got that big break, that first big break, then it's game on. And tell me, listen, when you get that first big break and it's game on, you can't drop the ball. Like, that ball keep going and going and going. That joint it's on a rotating path. It's the same thing as business. If you're in business, and let's say you had a good month. One good month in business, and let's say you started 3 months ago, right? So let's say you did a really good month. Let's do a real good month. $20,000. $20,000 in 1 month, and you say, okay, well, I got to do something big next month. You can't just keep talking about doing something big. You actually got to put some type of paper. You got to put the pen to the paper and write down what it is you're gonna do to land that 20,000 again, because that didn't happen by chance. I guarantee you, some relationship, some type of networking that you've done, some type of uh, investing that you've done in yourself, created the opportunity for you to make that $20,000. So that next month, if you don't figure out how you're gonna put an actual plan into place, you're gonna get $0. And then you're gonna have $0 the next month, and $0 the next month, because you're gonna say, well, you know what? I did do some work, but I manifested the majority of it. No, you gotta do that work. You better go get that calendar and and put down. Okay, On Monday, I'm going to put this many posts on social media. I'm going to go to this many events. I'm going to go to this many Starbucks. I'm going to go to this many Publix or whatever grocery stores in your city. I'm going to put all my flyers up to try to generate some business, to create some more income. Because this $20,000 was a product of what I did for the last 10 years. Now we got to try to make this thing last for another 30 years. And you hand that business off to your kids and all, or your family and all that stuff. But let's not just place. Let's not put the. I manifested this thing. He said, Derek, I'm gonna get on. Everybody that's listening to me on the audio, I'm sorry. I'm laughing at some of my TikTok people that be posting stuff. But yo, let's not just put certain things on the galaxy, or what they like to say. What's the? It's not God. They don't like to say God. What is it? The universe. There it is. I'm gonna put it. The universe just gave it to me, and I said, Lord, thank you for the universe. Bless me. No, don't do that. Please don't do that. If y'all do that, matter of fact, if y'all do that, please post it. Tag me in it so I can talk about you on the next podcast. Cause like, yo, no, we got to really we got to put the pen to the paper and write a plan. Come up with a plan that's going to create the success that you want. Another thing, before I start wrapping up, I noticed that a lot of people are conducting themselves as if we're not in a whole recession. It is a whole recession out here in these streets. The recession is real. Let me let you know how I know. How many, matter of fact, let's pull up some stats right quick. I like to pull my stats up. How many layoffs has the tech industry had? Let's see. Let me get you. Okay. All right, so as of right now, 617 tech companies have laid off 185,000 employees or staff this year, between this year and last year. 617 companies has laid off 185,000 people. This is a recession. That's what a recession looks like. Now, I got to put this disclaimer out there. If you are an investor, you probably like, yeah, that's that good old Republican views. Yo, if you are an investor, you're probably looking at this like, yo, that's what's up. Cause think about it in layman terms. If somebody is normally spending out, and this is how you have to look at it as a business. I want to talk about Mike too. I got to talk about Mike, but when you have a business and you're trying to figure out, okay, to keep my business afloat and to sustain us through this down season that we might be in, what do I need to do to make sure that I'm here for the next 5 years? The first thing you're going to start looking at is, okay, cost. Cost will consist of materials that you might have to get. You might have to get certain foods or all that kind of stuff if you're in the hospitality industry. You might have to get some type of promotional materials down. Get it cheaper. And then the next thing that's the big huncho for every business is paying salaries. If you got 100 people, and I know I'm speaking for myself, like, you ain't gonna crash my business. You're not gonna crash it. But if I've always wanted to be in a Fortune 500 company. So I want to create a Fortune 500 company. So let's say I have 501 employees. And let's say I'm spending roughly $15 million a year on all of my employees. But let's say on average, if I start looking at the specs and who does what and what type of commissions I'm paying out, on average, out of these 500, only 375 people are actually coming into the office getting big commission checks from me. So what would I do? The first thing I'm gonna do is say, okay, well, this person right here has not delivered on something, and I'm gonna just start creating a probation process. If y'all don't deliver in this probation process, then I'm gonna come up with your severance pay, and you're out the door. Same thing Elon Musk just did at Twitter. So all of the people that might be investing into my company are looking at me like, thank you so much. You cut costs, and we got the big earners. We still got the top earners working for the company. And you don't have 375 salaries that we have to pay. So now some of that money can be dispersed through all of my stockholders. And that's what all of the tech companies are doing right now. That's exactly what they're doing. They're cutting the fat, trimming the fat, and getting to the bag. So I guarantee you at some point we're gonna start looking at the stock market if y'all follow stocks, as I do sometimes. I can't I don't have the patience for it. But if you follow stocks, you're gonna start seeing, oh, Tesla just went up. Oh, Microsoft just went up. How? Like y'all just laid off all those people. That's the salaries. The salaries are getting dispersed. Voila. So I want all of us small business people to start applying that type of concept to everything that we're doing in life right now. Especially if you are a mom and pop shop type of deal. Thank you. Especially if you're a mom and pop shop type of situation, because we will be the first ones, and I say we because I don't consider myself like, I ain't bringing in like quadruple millions yet. I'm not doing that yet. But if we are in the space of, if there if big corporate if the big corporate companies are trimming the fat, what you think you need to do? Start putting that pen to the paper. This is gonna Y'all gonna say this for the rest of the podcast. Put the pen to the paper and start coming up with a concept. Start coming up with the ideas. Start coming up with whatever you're gonna do to sustain yourself through the recession. Now, another disclaimer: if you find that you are having to trim too much fat and you're not sustaining your personal expenses with your business, it's time to get a part-time job. It's time to get a part-time job. Your business is cute and it's doing some good stuff, and I celebrate you for staying in business through the pandemic and all that stuff. But if you can't sustain yourself through what's going on right now, please, I beg you, get a part-time job. And if you don't have certain skills, go get the skills that you need to get the part-time job so you can sustain yourself and use both incomes. Because I promise you, what'll probably start happening is it'll start lightening up in a few years or so. And everybody will transition from, probably, I hate to say it, but we'll probably transition from using paper currency to all digital. And now, everything that, did we talk about Biden? I got to talk about the Biden housing situation too. But anyway, you're going to start seeing all of these loans is going into default. And after the loans are in default, and if you've done good through the whole process, you're going to have a bag at the end of it. You've been working all of this time, 2 jobs. You've been working 2 jobs this whole time, stockpiling some of your money, making sure all your expenses are good, making sure your credit is good, making sure you have certain things underneath your belt. And then you're going to see an $800,000 house, a house that was $800,000. What up, Mike? You're going to see an $800,000 house that's probably on sale for 100. Now, that might be a little bit cheap. You might see $800,000 house up for 600,000, all because people are going to start buying the houses due to this new situation. And if I did, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm going to go back to it because I don't know I can't remember if I talked about it last week. Mike, you want to shout out Mike Exo Long, Mike Long, what up? Nisha, what up? All right, so I don't want to make this is not the Republican pod today, but I am going to go ahead and talk about some things. So, and I feel like I did talk about it, but maybe I didn't. But anyway, what I mean by the houses and all this stuff going into default, what's gonna happen is, y'all know that our current president has implemented a housing subsidized living offer to the people, because that's all anytime you see people that offer something or that says this is a bill that we pass and it's for these people, you don't have to take it. You don't have to take it. You can just keep doing what you've been doing and save your money, do what you need to do, and buy at the end. You might even be able to buy in cash. You don't have to finance nothing. But anyway, so our current president came up with this idea. What up, Curtis? He came up with the idea to do subsidized living for people that may not have been able to afford housing. Now, the the details in this is everybody that has a credit score of 600 or higher, you pay the higher interest rate. You pay the higher interest rate. And this is, again, that's why I say you don't have to take it if you don't want it. Like, if you already are in a house or you own property or real estate, this is for people that want to get new loans. These are for the new loan people. But if you have a credit score that's 680 and under, then you get to get the cheaper housing. You get to get the cheaper down payment. But that 680, you're going to pay more in house payment, and you're going to pay more in interest. Now, if you group that with what's going on in the recession, people are barely able to get groceries in their house. Why do you think that they're offering this type of deal in this type of climate? If you ask me, this is what the whole play. Come closer. Come close. This is the whole play. If I have, let's just put a round number out there. Let's say I got 5 million people that bought a house at $300,000, right? That's a lot of money. I'm not going to do the math. I'm not doing the math tonight. But you got 5 million people that bought a house at $300,000. Now, out of these people, let's just say half of them actually can afford the house. Meaning, we know that they're going to be responsible. They're going to make the payments. They're going to keep up with everything. They're going to keep the neighborhood nice. And they'll be a contributing member to society, right? But the other half of that might be the scammers, like the AI people. Might be the AI people. And let's just say they say, well, you know what? I'm going to get this house, and this house is a part of a scam. So I'm going to scam my way through the whole situation. And then they're going to realize at the end of the day, they are upside down in a $300,000 house. Now, if you just put the stats out there, just think about it. If you were the person that was loaning the money, who would you rather loan the money to? A person that has good credit, that has the know-how to keep up with bills and paying bills on time because you have a record. You have credit. That's what credit is. Credit is a record. It's a ledger. It's a ledger board on whether you can keep up with your payments or not. That's what the credit is. If you have bad credit, it's a ledger on how many payments you let go in default. Who would you rather lend money to? If it was your money, if it was your $300,000, who would you rather lend money to? I tell you who I think. I would rather lend money to the person that got the better credit, because guess what? I can probably bet in the next 20 years, because these are all 30-year loans, I can bet in the next 20 years that person will still be making the payments on the house that they financed through me. I'm gonna finance them easily. I can put money on the person that's not gonna pay on it. And that's just, I want people to think about it like that. So now, again, if we do what we're supposed to do in this season, we start saving money. We start putting money aside. We keep our expenses down. We don't go buy the truck. We don't go buy the Tesla. Yeah, Lord, I want that Tesla. But we don't go buy the Tesla. And we stay put. Just stay put for a little while longer. All of those prices on everything is gonna go all the way down. It's gonna plummet. Because people can't buy it. People can't keep it. So again, let's do a recap. I'm 51 minutes in, so I might as well go ahead and finish the hour. So recap. And please, if y'all got some questions on TikTok, got questions on Facebook, please fire off the questions, because I do want to help. But let's just say, when you go ahead and save all your money, you get everything put aside, you got all your ducks in a row, and you see Buddy over here. I saw a piece of land. I want that land. But you see Buddy over here that got a house for $30,000. And you know in the up market, that house was probably 180, 200. You got 30,000 saved up. Voila, congratulations. You just bought a house for $30,000 cuz this person is hard up for the money. They got to get rid of the house. All of the people that flip houses, that's really the model. They say go after a distraught owner. You know, the people that may have just lost somebody and, you know, the person left, grandma and them left the house to so and so. So, you know, I'm gonna go ahead and cash out. Listen, now, this is the other side of that. Cause everybody that's black is not in a bad position. We got some black folk that's good. We got some Hispanic folk that's good. We got some white folk that's good. I know my black folk be like, don't need to talk about them. Yeah, I got love for everybody. So we got some people that's good. In the event that your family member left you a house, a whole house, I don't care if it's 300 square feet. I don't care if it's 200 square feet. If they left you a house on some land, don't sell it. Please, I beg you, don't sell it. What you're going to start building is the legacy that of the Rockefellers or the legacy of the Bushes, right? All of the royal families. Do y'all know that if you're in Europe, you can't own beach like property that's all designated to that part of the family, the royal family? Anyway, different stuff going on over there. But yeah, if somebody leaves you a piece of land, a piece of property, do not sell it. You are building legacy. Now, I will tell you this. This is what you can do. If you need money, do I have to put the disclaimer out there? I am not a licensed investor. I'm just letting you know what I would do. How about that? I'm letting you know what I would do. If somebody in my family left me a piece of property, the first thing I would do is look at the value of the property. Look and see what type of maintenance needs to be done to it. If it needs a new kitchen, new bathroom, new flooring, whatever needs to be done to it to make it safe. I'm going to do that much to the property to make it safe, right? Make it a little bit pretty. And then I'm going to look at the comps for the area. I'm going to say, okay, well, on average, the rent over here would be about $2,000. So this house fully furnished, fixed up, and all that stuff, I know I can get $2,000 bare minimum from this house. Then I'm going to start marketing the house. Then I'm going to get a tenant to go in that house. While the tenant is in there, I'm going to start looking at I'm going to look at more specs. I'm looking at how much that properties are worth in that area. Then I'm going to say, you know what? I'm getting income from this house. Let me start looking into some HELOCs with the H. Let me start looking at some equity loan lines of credit or equity loans. If I can pull $100,000, $50,000, whatever I can pull from that property, if I can pull that money from that property and I have over enough from the rent that's getting paid, now I can use that money to go buy another property or invest in a business. Now you got extra income out the wazoo because you got one person paying rent over here. You got another business that, let's say you buy a franchise. You use that money to buy a franchise. You go do that. You got franchise money and you got the rental money. And let's just say with that franchise, you were able to get a piece of property again. So now you own two pieces of property. You could do the same thing over. Rinse and repeat. Rinse and repeat. I don't know what you got, bro. Somebody on TikTok being funny. But yeah, that's where we at with it, yo. I just want everybody to be able to keep as much stuff as possible. Let's build legacies. Let's try to start changing our conversations. I think for so long, and I was in that space for a minute, but for so long we have the broke mentality conversations, which sounds like this. Yeah, one day I'll be able to go ahead and afford that little so and so. Once I afford that so and so, I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna be out here. I'm gonna try to buy me something nice. What's something nice? Probably like a nice little Honda Accord. Okay, that's cool. That's cool if that's your bag. But let's not talk about things that we can afford. Let's push the whole conversation further. Let's talk about things that we can own. Let's talk about things that will change somebody else's life. If I build me, for instance, when I wanted to build a Mad Lucrative podcast, I said, well, I want to be able to connect artists to investors and investors to situations that they might not have normally been inside of. I want to own land and feed the black community. Oh, I appreciate it, Adam. We love you, Adam. Thank you. But yo, my main thing was I want to make sure that we have enough people that sustain themselves from their own business that they can put their money into somebody else's business and grow their business. And then it's a rippling effect. A rippling effect. So when I said I wanted to make sure Trump, when I said I want to make sure I start doing activities and having conversations that will set me up for those type of opportunities. That's where we are now. I got I ain't gonna announce I'm not gonna announce her, but I got some guests coming to the pod that will really, really, really help change the way we think about certain things. Instead of thinking about us owning a house, let's think about us owning some land and owning properties and not ever having to make a house payment. I'm gonna start a Patreon to teach that. I know a few people teach it, but I'm gonna start a Patreon to teach my part of it. Because it's a way to buy a house debt free, again, debt free, and not ever have to make a payment on it. It's called setting yourself up with units. You get two houses instead of one. It's the same loan. So that's where we at. I have no questions. Let me see. I'm gonna go to AJ said wordplay. That was a little bit earlier. Oh, poem. Why do y'all do this to me? Why do y'all do this to me? You said Trump or Biden. Okay. Y'all know everybody that follows me on YouTube already know what time I'm on. So let's just slow down for a second. Let's slow it down. So okay. I'll explain my question. Please, somebody else ask another question so I don't have to end the pod on this question. But so I answer questions with another question. All right? That's how I answer questions. So you say Trump or Biden. My question to you would be, are you a business owner? If so, if you are a business owner, then how was your business during the pandemic and a little bit before the pandemic? All right? That's one. If you are not a business owner, how was your pockets before the pandemic and after the pandemic? All right? So if they were good, before I touch on the inflation part, if it was good, then I think you got your answer. Because nobody wants their pockets to be bad. I don't want my pockets to be bad. Now, I love to ask black people this question because I'm black and I have a lot of black friends. So I like to ask a lot of black people this question. My question to my friends would be, okay, when Trump was in office, what was you doing? What were you doing when Trump was in office? They'd be like, bro, shh. I was good, bro. I was straight out here in these streets. I'm like, okay. Cool. How much did you pay in gas when he was in office? About $2 or something? Okay. When's the last time we touched $2? Shh. Okay. All right. So then my next question would be, how much have you followed politics? And how much are you following the decisions that are made during these different people in office? If you pay attention, the writing's on the wall. I think the first thing that happened when Biden was in office, and it made me be like, what the hell are you doing? The first thing that happened was when that mug turned the pipeline off between, I think, the U.S. and Canada. When he turned the pipeline off, I was like, why did you do that? Wait. So you saying it's gonna be cheaper for us to get gas from all the way in Germany, which is now battling with Ukraine and Russia and all them over there got their thing going on, right? They got all that going on over there. So you saying it's cheaper? Let me get this right. It's cheaper for us to get gas from all the way over there than right there. It's like driving up the street, get some gas. I'll go all the way over there to get some gas. Common sense, yo. So then my question was, okay, if they did that, then why? Because I understand that a lot of times we do things for building relationships with foreign nations, and we want to make sure that we have a nice back and forth with them. So, hey, Janae. But we always want to know if that happened with the gas lines. That's one thing. Okay. I know all of my folk, again, my folk in the hood said, man, shoot, I could stand me another one of them stimuluses. I said, no, you don't want the stimulus because you're going to inflate the economy. What that mean? That's what I'm here for. I like to make sure that we educate people as much as possible, at least to my extent. I got folk that I could bring on and I interview them and make sure that they got sound information that they're teaching y'all. But as far as I go, I'm like meat and potatoes type of guy. Like if it don't make sense, then why we do it? Let's see. LX, what you say? Let's just dig. Don't worry about. Yo, exactly. So LX on TikTok said, let's just dig. Don't worry about whose land it is. Rich folk. Yo, again, and that takes me to it was a case down here in Georgia. I might try to pull that family up. But it's a family down here in Georgia that inherited land. Let's see. Family land. Let's see if it was. It's 19 acres. 19. Is it 19 acres? No, 97 acres. 97 acres. But anyway, it was a family down here in Gwinnett County. Do you like Kanye? Kanye's cool. But the family has had this land for years, right? And just like all of the gingers do, I'll let y'all figure that out later on. But just like the gingers like to do, they said, well, you know what? We won't just buy the land. Let me just buy the land. The family says no. Just like I've been teaching y'all. I've been teaching y'all that. The family says, nope, we're not going to sell that land. That's our land. We're going to keep it. We're going to do what we want to do on that land because it's ours. So Gwinnett said, oh, it's ours. It's y'all's. It's our land because we have preservations and all this stuff. Matter of fact, just lay down and let us get the land and y'all go do what y'all do. So then they said, well, you know what? No, we're going to just take this to court. So they said, no, we're going to take it to court. So the family just got social media involved. They got the news involved. They got all the different people that's in office involved in Gwinnett. And they actually are able to keep the land. So I was like, thank God. Like they didn't get gingered out of their land. Again, I'll let y'all figure that out. The way the white man took the native. See, I don't get in the white and I just again meat and potatoes. I'm meat and potatoes. I don't go to the race. I don't go into the race wars because I think it's probably some white families that got sucked out of some land or got in a hard crunch and they had to sell their land off. So I have a heart for everybody, right? My buddy that's a Muslim says I'm Malcolm X. I mean, I'm Martin Luther King. I said, you full of it. But no, I just like for people to have what's owed to them. Like, don't just come in somebody's space and say, yo, that's mine. Somebody come in my house and say, yo, that's mine. Yo, it's going to be fireworks. It's going to be, it's going to be real. All right. So we got Alexis, Kanye. You asked the question, do I like Kanye? Kanye is dope. Kanye is not crazy either. And I'll leave it at that. I'm not digging. Aaron, what up? What up? So I am officially an hour and 5 minutes in. So I'm gonna head out. Janae, you're the best. Thank you for joining. Thank you. I still got to get y'all on the pod too. But till next week. It's been real. Make sure y'all go. Make sure y'all go watch. Congratulations, you lost it. That's me and my wife's podcast. Kanye is one shot. All right, I'm out. All right, I'm out. Till next week. Peace.